Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final episode of Is This a Podcast? It's the season finale. It's the last episode. It's the eighth episode. And it's been a great ride so far. We've had so many guests. We've had 7 guests, but multiple guests on some episodes. But we've had so much fun doing this. And thank you for joining us on this ride. And to close this season, we have a Q&A session planned. We ask your toughest questions and let's see how it goes. And let's just have fun today. Making his debut on Is This a Podcast? BisiBeleBois. Give it up for Avinash Ratnam, everybody.
I finally made it. I finally did it.
Where were you?
Better late than never. That's a burning question. Where was I?
Were you functioning on US timings? So you couldn't make it?
TBH, yes. At one point I was. But yeah, it's at least, I was watching them. I watched 90% of every podcast. And it was great seeing what you guys were doing. So it's like, I'm finally a part of the action. I feel like a guest now. It's like I'm like the last guest in the scene.
Please don't feel like that. Treat it's like your home. Yalla, everything is yours. But awesome to have you, Avi. And now let's welcome a podcast regular, Vishnu Ravi Prasad.
Woohoo! Location change.
Hairstyle change.
Hairstyle change. Yellow t-shirt consistent.
Yeah. Like they say, so many things, like what do you say? Sachin Tendulkar, straight drive, Donald Trump's orange hair and Vishnu's yellow shirt, they're always consistent. I don't know.
Yes. It's a saying. If you didn't know, Google it.
Either yellow shirt or the watermelon shirt. There's no in between.
Watermelon shirt also, it's just for shows. Okay? That's a superstition. Wearing shirts for shows is a superstition.
Yeah, that's fair.
I still remember that. You remember that fundraiser thing we did back in June?
Australia.
No, not Australia. The online fundraiser.
The Artists Assemble one.
Mission Vahan.
Vahan.
That one. So that one, I was like, we had sold some 3 tickets, 4 tickets for that one, no? So I was like,
sold 8 tickets.
Sold 8. Okay, whatever. Single digit tickets.
Yeah.
Single digit. That too, it's online show. I'm like, it was for some 40 minutes, right? So I was like, so okay, I'll just wear a t-shirt and whatever I was wearing, I'll just wear that and perform. Like t-shirt. Anyway, this much is going to be seen. Doesn't matter if it's like the other part is torn. First, everything's ready when Vaishak introduced you. And then immediately I picked up a shirt, put it on, and just the 2 buttons were on, and I came up on screen because I can't do a show with a t-shirt.
You gave in.
So, superstition.
My superstition is exactly 1 minute before show starts, I should remember I should wear contact lenses. I'll be like, oh, something's not right.
And you used to run last minute to the bathroom.
But awesome.
So, do I have a slow superstition? I don't think.
I don't have any, Avi. Don't worry.
I wear hoodies. Yeah, I've been consistent.
Hey, you have that song thing. No, you have the song thing. No, you listen to that. What's that song? Or was that for boards?
It was for exams. Exams, I still do that. Before exams, I listen to Snow by Red Hot Chili.
Hey, yo.
Yeah. I still do it also. Yeah. It's not very effective now, but
yeah, before show you don't have.
NLS. That's how I remember it. NLS, our first NLS thing. That's when Avi told I listened to Snow by RH.
Yeah.
And
since 10th boards.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Avi have a contact lens Vaishak. It's a classic thing.
3 of us had a ritual back in the live stage days.
Live stage, yeah. 3 of us. That's
I still have that
different.
playlist also. It's like hurts every time I see it.
Yeah. So one more fun thing I discovered. Okay, so over the past 7 episodes, Vaishak has this unique way of saying episode, right? And he doesn't say episode. It's not burns. He pronounces it burns. All right. Episode, whatever. It's not very mallu. That wait. I have proof for this. Don't deny me. I have proof for this.
play recordings.
I looked into all 7 episodes except third episode. He said it for everything.
Who was on the third episode?
Episode.
So
Episode.
I have compilation. Wait, I'll play.
Whoa.
Play that compilation.
Welcome to the second episode of fourth episode of welcome to the fifth episode of
Oh, bruh, it is so cute. Episode.
seventh episode of
7th was slightly better, but everything else was episode.
I observed that I was doing this like welcome.
Welcome. Yeah.
That I've consistently done. I don't know. I didn't think about it, but like it just happened. That I observed. And what do you say? It's been so good so far, and I'm glad we did this. What has been your favorite episode so far? Episode. What's been your favorite
Episode. Hey, you can't ask like this tonight.
Most memorable moments. What were they?
I don't know. I think Sitara and the design ones were good. Sitara and design. Sitara maybe number 1.
I was gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say Sitara also.
Yeah,
But
Sitara.
I changed my answer.
Yeah.
So for Sitara thing, like I knew all of them and like I've always admired them. And what do you say? Like I've been in touch with them, but to like, sit and talk with each of them for that period of time. So like I knew each of them individually and I've like coordinated with them on like an individual thing. But like to see them as one group and talk, it was damn fun. The design thing was damn fun in a way that like I came from, like I told myself that I will be the most inquisitive person in the room and like I tried to figure stuff out. So that's how I questioned and like that was damn fun for me too. The sports one was nice. They were those two, Anurag and Kushagra, both of them spoke so well. Like even Kushagra told that he, is more into the presenting side. So you could see the amount of knowledge they had and the presentation skills which they had, and it's admiring to see that as well.
I mean, they've done podcasts with like Peter Drury and stuff, so like makes
it's an interview, not a podcast, but
whatever. It's still they've talked with people who've talked probably with Messi, Ronaldo. So like
so
like or been at least in the same city, same 100-meter radius.
Yeah.
But good stuff. We're on our season finale, and let's get this show started. Before we start it off, I want to give a shout out to Havish K. Okay,
my friend Havish Kampiri.
Consistently, every time he has sent, "Oh my God, huge fan, sir! I love you." Something of that sort.
Oh.
Yes, consistently.
You guys remember Havish, no?
Yeah.
I remember Harish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If not for him, where would we be?
Yeah, we would have spent 2K, 3K on some room in Chennai.
For like 2 hours.
For 2 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
Good shower that was after the bus.
That was a great show. Nice bathroom.
Yeah. Awesome. So we'll start off. Do you have something of that sort? Yes, consistent.
Whoa.
Nice. Vaishak is watching himself
back.
on the side.
Rewind.
Not for him.
Rewind time.
Yeah, we would have.
Wait, was the podcast audible?
Yeah.
I unmuted on the stream setting. Sorry for that. It's okay, it happens. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I hearing myself?
We'll get one copyright strike. Like
copyright ourselves. Okay.
That was weird. But anyway, cool guys. Let's start it off. Question do we go? We shall start with, I remember Srishti's question. Srishti of Project Sitara fame. She says, what were your,
Wait. I'll put the question. Wait. I exact will read. Srishti Jairamu says, have you guys ever considered any other names for your trio apart from the BisiBeleBois?
I think we did. In that car ride, I remember a bunch of names coming up with.
Yeah.
BisiBeleBois were like the worst name we came up with. Probably
Not the
that
worst?
one. Not the worst, but it was like a.
Yeah.
The one we stuck with, you could say.
Yeah, I mean, it's one we stuck.
I I think more than the name was a very subtle. It was a very random thing. It was Avinash or saying before the freshers, like, oh, BisiBeleBois in 3, 2, boys in 3, okay, whatever. In the car, it became slightly the infamous car ride that we've spoken about it
Some
200,
yeah.
300
Yeah.
times.
Where did the name BisiBeleBois come from? Oh,
So I have a story behind this. Okay, so
Do you have the chat? Did you take out?
yeah, I pulled that up.
I took out the chat.
Yeah.
Name, try on. We argued a lot for the parcel number 1 show, I guess.
Yeah. So the thing was, me and Vishnu, we saw this place called Untitled Space right here in JP Nagar. Like we were scouting for locations. So then, like, okay, we were just like looking around. We saw Untitled Space. Then we saw Six Dead Queens. What that was that
Six
the name?
Dead Queens. Yeah.
Saw that, and like we went home, and after that was like the first in-depth chat about doing this professionally is what we had. So I remember, like, I came home, I was in my hall, everyone went to bed, I was just texting Vishnu, and we like spoke for like 1.5 hours almost. And Vishnu asked, are you willing to invest? I was like, yes. And then all that was happening. So that's how it started. And once we wanted a name, we were like, BisiBeleBois. We had it already from the car ride. But like, I was like, because of I'm the huge, most biggest number one, day one, first show fan of alliteration, I was like thinking of names to come up with something of that only. So I'll tell you the names which I suggested. Okay.
I remember.
And please tell me what I responded also.
Yeah. I'll tell. So he asked show name, but I was like, sorry, BisiBeleBois, Puliogare Poppers. Okay. Camp farce. I suggested camp farce because farce means comedy. He was like, fucking no. And then I was like, damn good, come on. He was like, no. I told show name is BisiBeleBois present comedy bath. Like, BisiBeleBois comedy bath. He was like, no. He straight up asked, are you tripping or something? I was like, but like the responses after this show that I was actually like, on some substance, which I was not. I said, Nachos Nanjundas present comedy salsa. Wait.
Hey, we should have stuck to that one. That would have been insane.
I told famous. I told damn dumb designer. See again DDD. And BisiBeleBois present humor bath. And then genital gentlemen present dicky humor. Oh God.
Genital gentlemen.
Hey.
Genital gentlemen present dicky humor.
Dicky humor, okay.
Oh God. And I even suggested the poster in the background, you could have a dick cartoon or something. And he was like, no. And
no, it was me on one side, you on the other, and Avinash through the...
no, like each ball our face and the bell end one face, something like that. 18 plus podcast, this one. Anyway.
The Bermuda Triangle.
Then Masal Dosa Maharajas present comedy chutney. And I was like double alliteration because Masal Dosa Maharajas and comedy chutney, MMCC. And like Dosa chutney link also. And he was like, Vishnu told, I'll assume you're not being serious with these suggestions. I was like, no, I'm serious. No, this one, guys, get ready for it. Sitcom sons present the Come Sit show.
That one's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Big talent, bro.
The BisiBeleBois present Pehla Pachdi. So you eat pachdi with BisiBeleBois, and like he told, stop alliterations. And then like I suggested the BisiBeleBois present round 1 raita, and he told this is okay. So that's when like round 1 parcel number 1 idea started, coming up with this. And I told poster is a banana leaf, and on that banana leaf is BisiBeleBois and raita. That's it.
We did some
like Tirupati.
No, and we did that poster. Even if we didn't do for this, we did a very similar poster for Love You Dosa.
Love You Dosa, the album
poster. Not album cover, the poster.
The poster, sorry.
It's a very similar thing, no? It's
banana leaf
with 3 faces.
Yeah.
And then the another name was Buy 3 Coffee presents the first sip. And
Oh,
like
pretty
Vishnu
good.
had suggested something called BBB present the first serving. So the first sip, like, so that was aligned with that. And idli vada idiots present the first dip in sambar.
They're
So
very food focused,
Books.
like
very
No,
food focused.
these are like Roald Dahl books, no, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
yeah.
It's like that.
And then BisiBeleBois present Bundi number one. And Bundi, Vishnu was like good like that, but we initially, he even told Bundi number one, a film by David Dhawan, starring Mahesh Babu, showcasing on Set Max. It had those vibes.
Mm.
And all of that happened, and we froze on BisiBeleBois, which was always there, to be honest. But
Yeah,
the
BisiBeleBois was such a random thing. Actually, like, and Avinash came up with it, least Kannada person. Came up with
Who would have thought? Who would have thunk?
I no, we
not
had
even possible that his lunch was BisiBeleBois that day. It would have been lemon rice. Like there's
Yeah, it was
no way.
definitely lemon.
It was not
Would you
even-
three people or something?
Yeah,
It wasn't the car ride, it was before the
yeah, freshers.
Yeah,
No, but the
that was before that. So like, what do you say? We were like, it's just three of us. Not that we always do Jay not Anki, and like instead of this, we need something else. We were like BisiBeleBois. It just happened like that. And then
Yeah.
on the car ride, we did like official, let's go BisiBeleBois.
yeah.
Yeah. No, like, yeah, makes sense. We used to do Jay Nautanki and then
Yeah, I don't remember the first backstage story though. Before freshers.
What?
before freshers, you remember
No.
I was doing lights for freshers. Remember
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
No?
yeah.
I got the lights guy because I was in fifth sem and we were supposed to like host the freshers, whatever. So I was in lights and you guys I think came during like lunch 2 hours before the
Yeah, we
performance
came 2
because
hours before.
since I was there, like you guys were allowed inside because you guys were performers or whatever. I mean, we did the lights, we just spoke, and then we were speaking. Oh, okay, this, and Avinash randomly said, "Okay, BisiBeleBois in 3, whatever." And then again, before the performance, we were wearing not a keep but go BisiBeleBois or whatever and went up on stage.
Yeah, now. Coming
Yeah.
back to remember.
But yeah,
We
what do you
don't,
think? All this prep helped us on our show days. You could say that.
You could say so. Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
A lot of allocations.
Yeah.
Too many allocations.
Is my internet bad or yours?
No. Yours is bad. Mine's okay.
Yours, yeah, I can hear you.
It's fine. But good first question to start off this Q&A.
Yeah, for sure.
Good trip down memory lane as well. All these names
Yeah.
are copyrighted, trademark, guys. You can't. If you start an improv comedy group called Genital Gentlemen, that is strictly not prohibited. Strictly,
We will sue. We will sue.
we will sue. Yeah.
BBB versus gentleman.
No, yeah, this is correct. We'll definitely sue. We will win also.
You gotta get straight to the point. Straight to the tip.
Yeah, we will tell you to wear gloves. Like O.J. Simpson, like that.
It fits. Yeah.
Like yeah, in court, if we are against a case against a genital gentleman, in court they say you're magistrate, no? But
Yeah.
against you're prostrate. Anyways, awesome guys. We'll move on to the next question.
Yeah, and if anyone whoever is watching, some 5-6 people, if you have questions, put it on the chat.
Shoot.
Just go for it. Ask any question.
We might not answer, but we'll definitely acknowledge.
Yeah.
Someone tell you guys have to tell my name. What was that fellow's name? Just saw the
Gold box. Sitstorm?
It's Sitstorm _ gold box. Who are you, da? Who's he?
He told the name.
It's okay, we're gonna shout out. Hi, Sitstorm.
Yeah.
He told his name. Thank you.
Sankarshan asks, now that like we're talking about us and not like general questions, Sankarshan asks, did you guys ever have a fight?
obviously we've had like arguments and disagreements.
Yeah, we've had disagreements. I don't think like a full-on fight has ever.
We had
Not
misunderstandings.
fight, no.
Yeah.
We've had like disagreements.
That, obviously.
Yeah, that has.
What do you say? We are all
No, it would be
in our own ways.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
We are all irritating in our own ways, I would say. So like we've irritated each other and like what do you say? Business side of things, like I am so particular with doing things. Like a lot of times I go beyond time, like what time it's supposed to happen, and I just can't function. Like everything has to be right, and like that has come at the cost of a post going late or something. So that's when like, and Vishnu lost his cool and like he belted me, and then like I was not right, so like I gave it back immediately as well. So I think that's the closest we've had to a fight. And then immediately after that, I was like, sorry, love you, all of that happened. But
no, it's weird if we have not had misunderstandings or disagreements, because there's no way anything can function without that. No, no way. You have to, and that too, it's a creative thing. We're doing improv. We are having disagreements and misunderstandings on stage.
Yeah.
Imagine what's happening off stage, right? Like there's definitely going to be that, like, but yeah, it's a very natural thing. And like, so you just know that it is, all three of us, luckily all three of us were in a place where we know it's going to happen. We know misunderstandings happen. We know it's okay also. So we're like, even if it happened, we never went back and looked at it and been like, oh shit, this happened. Or like, oh, we argued over this thing. We never did that. It happened. We didn't really acknowledge. It was part of the process. Just go with the next one. Something happens, we totally forget whatever happened before. So that understanding the three of us had, and that's why I think we could even do improv. Because I was speaking with Sankarshan on his podcast as well, and he would ask me like, what do you think makes a good improv comedian? I said, we practice scenes, of course, but first thing that we practice is building a relationship between your players and building an understanding between your players. That's because I still believe that's the first step, and second step maybe is yes and. No?
Yeah.
They're one and the same, I feel.
No, I think, I mean, usually, not that yes and, like when we did improv with the London people like ages ago, and some of the people I had brought, remember, they, like the connection wasn't initially there. They knew they had to yes and, but then no one was on the same page. I think that's fair to say. We're three of us we get on the same page relatively quick, and like we at least understand what's going on stage like really, really fast. I think at least understanding the general gist of the scene, or like at least what our fellow actor is going for, is more important. Because at least you're on the same page, you have the same understanding, the same line of thought, or at least a general line of thought. So and then you yes and for people.
Makes sense.
We haven't done something, but yeah.
I was watching your podcast with Sankarshan, and on that, like you talked about ego and stuff, right? So something about that is like earlier, like when we used to start a scene, like one of us would have a preconceived notion in our head. What do you say? If the suggestion is Swamiji, for example, right? The entire 5-minute scene, whatever we would do with jokes, with the punchlines, which I would do, they automatically come in my head. Like that's ready-made, right? So I would obviously like go into, let's say, a Swami Nityananda character or something like that. Okay. And like I would make references to that, and that would be the funny jokes or punchlines. But if you paired me with Avi, and Avi will not know who Swami Nityananda is. So after like I acknowledge I am Swami Nityananda, and then like Avi would return me with something totally different. It would be, what do you say, stupid if I continued being Nityananda. There, like I need to let go of my ego there and adapt immediately and not hold it against Avi and try to force that scene again. So that thing I observed like we were doing in the beginning, where like since we are improvisers, we naturally know how the scene's going to play out, the jokes which we're going to pull. So like all of that will happen, and sometimes your partner will take the first line and it will be totally different from what you had planned in your head. If you still think you want to fit those jokes in, you're being stupid. You can't be an improviser. You need to know how you will adapt and do that. And since the three of us are like such hyper passionate and highly functioning individuals, like our brains so fast, and like we do it with energetic youngsters, because of this I think
Unnecessary that was, but yeah.
no, what I'm hyping us up, but I'm also telling that like we are attention whores basically, right? When we started off, at least that was more important than improv. We didn't understand improv yet then, but because of this, and we learned to work with each other, I think we can do an improv scene with anyone in the world because of this. That's why when we did with like DDG and all of them, even if they were like someone else with no context, we can build a scene with them.
Yeah,
It's my understanding.
makes sense.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah. But that point about whole point about I remember speaking about that where I said like when you have a train of thought and someone they are bringing the other player is bringing a different train of thought. Sometimes it's just like sometimes the other player will let go or you have to let go. It's such a natural thing that I've never been able to consciously understand how that's happening. Like imagine Avi and I are doing a scene. I have a train of thought. He has a train of thought. 100% going to happen between the three of us, any permutation combination, that we have different trains of thoughts. I've never consciously understood how one person lets go. Either Avi lets go of his train of thought or me letting go of my train of thought. I've never consciously realized how that's happening, but I don't want to know how it's happening as well. I think that's something said as well. Like I don't know. I don't want to know what I'm doing on stage.
It's like machine learning. Like the scenes you self-train yourself and it just happens. It's not like you don't have to consciously tell yourself this is what I learned from this improv scene. It automatically like you will carry it to your next improv scene. You automatically train yourself, which is why practice. People think we don't practice. Of course we practice. We practice so much. It's not like we're meeting each other for the first time on stage. We do a lot of practice, and that's how sometimes we practice so much to a point that like the shows aren't as good as practices, and that sucks. We do it.
Yeah, of course, going to happen. No, it's basically repetition. It's if it's on film, it's a different thing. No? Since it's live, it's a different. But yeah, good question though.
Yeah. The question was just about fight. We gave this good answer.
You guys said, yeah.
Vaishak is particularly narcissistic today, particularly attention whore.
Yeah.
Spotlight himself.
He's ready. He's come. He's come like that.
Awesome. We answered. Shumont asks, what mitochondria is the powerhouse of what? Mitochondria is the powerhouse of BEL, Bharat Electronics Limited.
Exactly.
Without them, I wouldn't be able to stream this thing. My Wi-Fi wouldn't be able to work. My laptop wouldn't be able to work. I would like to thank them personally.
Dedicated to them. Awesome. Yes. Cool. Sihi asks, we have a lot of questions from Sihi, basically, but we'll answer all of them. Let's see if we can. She asks, what are the challenges of running BBB and what is the future plan of BBB? I think we can club that as one question.
Yeah.
Yes. What are the challenges and what are the
challenges per se? Till now, what we faced is three of us have this one work ethic, which is really good, but also slightly like psychopathic at sometimes, like we were not able to give out our work to someone or like being able to easily break through or like find people to like like this always blame COVID. We can always blame saying we performed in front of 3,000 people on March 6th, and 1 week later we were all stuck at home. We can always say that, but that that break points we weren't able to figure out. I feel it's okay. I feel I'm still very happy with what we've done, but like that break point, if we had found, I think we would have been pretty damn good, dude. We are also, but like at one stage in that Jan 20,
You were invincible.
like first 6-7 months, we were fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you say? We wanted to do something. That's all. That's all that mattered. And like,
And lockdown was like slightly, bummer on everyone, and like how going to be a bummer on us.
obviously challenges, if you ask, like the cliched ones of we are Indians, so like parents one side, that will be there. We are college students, so college we have to balance. That's always there. Like anyone, nothing special about us in that way. But three of us have like three different courses and like three different priorities when it comes to education. What I mean by priorities, like the way we tackle our education is different because what we're studying is different.
Yeah.
So that way, like very rarely have we been on the exact same page in terms of priority with respect to BBP, and that was only when there was college or like those are big release, because we were all on the same page then, and that continued. But like once lockdown happened and we both, all of us got like invested in our own worlds, the priorities changed, and like the way again I feel another time when like our priorities were aligned was Improv 3030, and since then, yeah, that in all of us were super involved. Everything was business side, it was really good. Creative side, it was really good. It was something we should check out. We'll upload that. We have recordings. We'll upload them.
Correct, no?
Yeah, we'll upload them.
Yeah,
We'll upload full episodes only. With full shows we'll upload. Special.
yeah.
But yeah, guys, so that happened, and that I think is one challenge. Like Vishnu told, we should have like let go. It's good we didn't let go, but here and there, I think we could have let go and this thing. But yeah, I think that's about it. COVID and like traveling for practices,
Oh,
it's
damn.
always there.
We'll blame Bangalore for that. We'll blame them.
Bangalore and Pune.
Bangalore,
yeah.
Bangalore.
We were at our best when college was functioning. That much at least I can.
Yeah.
We were at our best, yeah, when there was physical shows.
Yeah.
Then,
Physical shows and physical interactions at a regular scale.
Yeah.
that especially.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause even if we weren't like practicing, I think we were just meeting each other in college every day. Still, like,
Yeah.
still in the group.
Yeah. And like we would get work done like this photo shoot tomorrow means photo shoot would happen tomorrow.
This is what I was wearing for my first photo shoot.
Yeah. Like we're so lucky to have had people help us in like
That also.
so like any sort of help we needed, we knew who we could reach out on like a strictly pro bono basis, and everyone has been very kind to us that way. So obviously extremely grateful. And but yeah, we work, what do you say, it was, since it was college again, like everyone was just there and we could just reach out for help. Photo shoot, someone's junior, pluck him, he'll do photo shoot.
Come to 13th floor.
Yeah, we need designer and Matthew, classmate, she'll do. But now after COVID, we've like thought where can we, where should we hire this person? Where the first time where we actually had to look for people to help us was like producer for Dosa song, right? Till then, like we didn't need anyone, to be honest.
Then we knew people. Yeah, that was the first thing we actually had to look out and ask people, do you know a producer? Do you know someone? Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So those are the challenges. Future plan.
COVID.
No idea.
Yeah. We have a show next week. No?
Yeah. We are doing.
I don't know. Vaishak was.
Yeah. We are. It's not public. We are doing an event, a somewhat panel discussion for AI SEC or ISEC.
AIE SEC.
AIE SEC.
AIE SEC ISEC. They have like 4 influencers, and we are one of them. We are influencers.
We represent one of them.
Vidyarthi Bhavan and AISEC.
Yeah.
Two.
Be talking about our journey on them. It's a closed event. I don't think anyone's open to register, but we are
Oh
doing
yeah.
that.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, some 3 people are watching on YouTube live. We'll take them. We'll take them.
Yeah, they 3 can be. Our plus one, each of our plus ones.
Plus one. But apart from that, like future plan, yeah, we need to see when again, hopefully motivation strikes each of us at the same time. So like when we did BBMP, Too Busy to Handle, Quarantine Rock, Stupid Songs, like our motivations were like, they were aligned, like we were all good. And especially when we did Still Sanskrit, I remember recording the song and each of us, we were hyped to shoot the videos. Like it's
just the content was so good. Like we were like, what have we even created?
My Sanskrit tuition teacher is here. She's like, yeah, I'm very proud you still remember it.
What have we even created?
Made a lot of
content. Great. So like at least mentally it was damn rewarding, and like we were all aligned in the same place. Like one call, we'll do it. We did it. That's it.
BBMP was that, no? Like BBMP was, oh fuck, we can't release Love You Dosa this weekend.
Yeah.
What to do? And it was the weekend. It was Friday. That we like for Sunday or Saturday. Like come WhatsApp call, record it. Happens. Go for it.
Yeah.
Venkatadri Sheshadri was a character from a long back.
In fact, like Venkatadri and Sheshadri grew with BBMP. It's not like we had Venkatadri, Sheshadri, and then came into them.
In the sense, we had like a storyline for Venkatadri Sheshadri even before BBM. Like way before BBM.
Yeah.
Like it was a bedtime story character arc that was everyone almost.
Chennai.
And yeah, we one of us, Vishnu, came up with a TV show. That was, the Walk to the Hotel.
Chennai, yeah. From Watsons to
Yeah, that one. That's where it started.
Makes sense.
But like then like Prasanna, then they have this wife, that wife. That's how their relations are. That thing was just us jacking off and like having fun, I think. But during bedtime was like when we realized it, where everyone, saw something in Venkatadri and saw something in Sheshadri. Till then, it was just
and our plans was just do it. Like come on WhatsApp, just do it. And Abhi was like, I'll do it. I'll commit to the Prasanna character. He has some background on his teeth.
Yeah, it's random.
Blazer. He has a fucking mic. Oh god. No, we stopped that for
yes.
Stuff. We stopped that thing, no? That background thing. You stopped.
Background always there.
It's there.
Yeah, so every episode has a different background.
It was there. Sometimes Avi's internet was bad, so it was like I can't play video on my TV. So like made some recorded linear algebra video and like that was.
I kept a linear algebra video. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Awesome. That answers that. I will pair Havish's question and Sihi's question together. Havish asks, what is love? And Sihi asks, love marriage or arranged marriage? We can club them together.
I asked Havish back the same question.
Yeah.
2 days back. I didn't ask him, but like I asked him back the same question. What is love, Kampiri?
What is love?
What is love?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what is love.
How silent was that for a second?
What is love?
I was like, what is love? Whoa. Vaishak. Most experienced Vaishak. That.
I'll tell you what is love. When you go downstairs at 12:45 for breakfast or lunch.
Is that a euphemism?
No, it's not. It's not. And you see your mom watching Srikai Chandru on Suvarna channel. And then he says, and you get tears in your eyes. That is love. When when you go to Pani Puri uncle and he says, I will give you one more extra puri free of cost, that tear which adds to the saltiness of the pani, that is love. Just before show, two people call and ask, can I please get tickets now? And even though we are sold out, we give them 2 tickets. That is love.
Much to them.
That is love, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
What are your interpretations of love, guys?
I
Love.
have nothing more to add to. I think I have nothing more to add to what I said.
Yeah, I think, same thing. Small things.
It's too deep, yeah. I think the small things in life.
Small things in life is what makes life special and beautiful.
What Vishnu said, that only same thing.
Yeah. When you hold your cheeks like this and you say rub, that is love.
It's basically that when your school like classmates, they'll be like, oh, tell that girl's name and do this and say rubber. You say rubber. Oh,
Hey, don't that
hey.
Ma'am, loving him at the. I have a story regarding this. So,
We're a victim to this.
one of my friends was drawing my record. Okay, he was drawing my record.
Okay.
And like he drew
Good.
my record night, and like he drew my record book. This was back in 10th, and then like I sucked at drawing, or like I just couldn't make myself draw. And then like he passed the record book to me, and like the class was going on. Mid class he gave it. It was noisy, and like once he gave that, I got so happy. I told, "Love you, bro," loudly. Okay. At that particular moment, the class was dead silent. Okay, and everyone heard "Love you, bro." And then everyone started looking, and like they were like smirking and stuff. Teacher asked, hey, what's happening? So I told, I used to be in Mirambika, we used to call our teachers Didi. So I was like, Didi, Sujit drew my record. I'm like, damn. So I thanked him for it. I just told Sujit drew my record. And then like she was like, so my friend sitting next to me, so he proposed. Everyone lost their shit. Like, so embarrassing. But yeah, that is love. Drawing your friend's record book, that is love.
Classic 30 words.
I'm not surprised the teacher got mad. Like, you should be drawing your own record book or nothing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That was the story. That's how the story is gonna go.
Yeah, bro.
I could tell he drew it and stuff. He was just like something happened.
Okay.
But yeah.
Dude, in case now you tell them, someone else do my record, they'll make you erase it.
Yeah, exactly. That used to happen. Like these physics records, these tables. No, like I'm till date I can't, even with the scale, I can't draw straight line on a paper. All right, it'll like slide. Like while drawing, it'll like move. Right. So only those tables. I used to tell my friend, you draw and give me tables. I'll fill it in. So, and everyone used to give it to her. Like some 10 of us in the backbench, everyone used to give it to her. And she used to like Papa sit and draw neatly. She used to sit and draw. And we used to fill in values, whatever. So that also used to happen like only in like breaks, lunch and stuff. Because like if we got caught properly, they'll be like, hey, don't do it again and stuff like that used to happen. But on a random tangent with the record story, I have a very funny record story, right? So I haven't submitted my 9th and 11th records. That's not funny. But what happened was, so there was this math teacher, right, in school, and she was getting a lot of complaints from like students, parents and stuff, saying like 12th standard math teacher. And she wasn't equipped for 12th standard, teaching 12th standard. So, and something like there were a lot of, all that gossip, all that drama was happening, and everyone knew it wasn't our math teacher, it was like a biology math teacher. So our class teacher was our chemistry teacher, was taking class for us. She was super pissed. We had pissed her off, talking, shouting, whatever. And she was correcting records or whatnot. So she's correcting my friend's record, and my friend asks her, so what happened to that math teacher? Out of nowhere, when she's like correcting his record, somehow he asked this question. He says, just like your record, she's out, and she threw the record. All right. And she was like, what is this? You've not finished salt analysis. You've not finished anything. Chuma, you're submitting a record. Just like your record, she's out, and she threw. We all lost our minds. Like, wow.
What savage, bro? What savage?
She's the same teacher. I've told you guys this story some 100 times. She's the teacher who said, if you
is left hand, that one, no? Left hand fracture, that thing?
left hand fracture, yeah. No. So my friend and I went and asked during chem lab, we went and asked, what's the difference between ethanol and methanol? Meth. What's the first one?
First is
What's the difference between methanol and ethanol? So she said, if you drink methanol, people will dance in front of you, and if you drink ethanol, you will dance. Right?
So good.
Yeah. So she's known for a very savage lady. I sent her Love You Dosa as well, right? And she was like, oh, who are these 12 standard boys? I was like, no, they're my college mates. She's like, no, I've seen them.
She has.
And then randomly she told, yeah, I'm in Malaysia now. Like, okay, thank you, miss. Yes.
Good. Let us, this gospel of what's her name?
Padmaja miss.
What's Padmaja Mrs. Gospel? Let it spread. We are doing our part by talking about her on this podcast.
Yes.
Next, Malaysian BisiBeleBois will start their podcast. There they will speak about her.
If Havish is watching, he'll agree.
What about yeah.
Padmaja miss is the best.
Hopefully. Love marriage or arranged marriage, guys?
Good question. Marriage. Good. Marriage in general.
I don't know about me, but for I don't know about me, but for my child, definitely arranged marriage. I will not.
No exposure, nothing.
No exposure. I will not give him the freedom.
Yes, Vaishak's child will be like, wow, is this 1947 again?
Like, I'll have him on a leash, just like how I have my pup now, Viru.
Don't
on a
say
leash,
stuff
I'll
like
have
that.
my son.
Don't say stuff like that.
From now only, you'll be under like child witness protection or something.
Nothing. No creativity. Nothing. No easy.
Yeah.
Like that. No, you take mechanical.
Should be serious.
Proper.
Huh? Mechanic.
His first love should be CBSE. First love CBSE.
Correct. Like suddenly, like his Vaishak's son will discover photos of BBB shows where Vaishak's all like this, and that iconic dance picture of you and both of you being like this. Like, oh, what? No, don't do this. Never. And then on a Zoom call doing a show. Not Zoom call. Probably he's going for a show, whatever. But yeah. Do you think you would like do improv when you're like say 30, 40 or whatever? I think I would want to at least.
I think I would want to, but like how it goes on a DDG, I guess it's like you just go in, whatever, 1 hour, you chill and then you just get back to it.
Like that. Like just there's all these weekend jams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably something like that.
But yeah, go for the next question. Vaishak's son is getting arranged marriage.
Like something that you would do. Something like that you would do on like at a pub or something. Like weekly things where you go and do art for yourself. Yeah, that I think I will do. Yeah. Hopefully, like I won't have that youth angst or what do you say? Like everything I do should,
You won't be attention whore, basically.
Yeah. Just go do enjoy and come back.
Oh. I imagine like we're 30 and then the improvisers our age, then you don't get the references.
Come here, man. Let me tell you a story.
Legend. back in my day, we did improv for 1 hour straight.
What if like, like the trend with like everything becoming like, short, like media in general becoming short and like it's catering to short attention spans, like everything's like 30 seconds. What if improv becomes like that too? If it's just punchlines, improv means
And
just,
scene. No, it's just 3, 2, 1 action. And scene.
yeah,
You pay 500 rupees for that.
penis and scene.
Oh.
3, 2, 1 action. Sex and scene.
That's it. Standing ovation. Whoa. Yeah, I'm scared about that. To be
No,
honest.
see, I don't think that will happen because, like, what called romantics like us are going to be that, like the whole long format and like
I think,
being
I
art.
think also like improv on its own is also not very long, right? Normally also like a 2-person scenes are again like just minute, 2 minutes max.
Yeah.
And I think it caters to a different audience, to people who normally like take reels, for example. It's like 30 seconds. Even reels now is like 1 minute long.
How many is that?
1 minute, yeah. We can do a scene in 1 minute for improv also. So like,
Yeah.
I don't
No,
think it
more
will.
than that, I think improv, when you say reels, like improv, I feel very close to reels. Like,
Yeah,
In a
it
way,
is
I
like
guess, yeah.
in comedy for the least
Hmm.
attention having people, improv is like the
Improv
right.
is, yeah.
more than the attention part of it, you don't need context.
Yeah.
Context of anything
It's very
other than
in your
that word
You
or
don't need to
that
use your head.
situation.
You don't
Yeah.
need to use your brain very much for watching improv. It's like
Yeah.
constantly given to you. It's like laugh.
And what do you say? There's acknowledgement of the audience so much in improv. So I think for audience wise, it's the most fun thing to watch or like to be a part of. Especially
Yeah.
like it's improv is a very good social event, I feel.
Yeah.
So like coming with friends and then like, oh, this fucker does this, doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
Becomes kind of fun. But
And I
yes,
think I spoke about this again, Sankarshan podcast, that improv and life very close as well. No?
yeah, that
Improv and
yeah,
life in general.
philosophy. But
No,
yeah,
yeah, like you always, it definitely sounds philosophical, but I've had some time during the lockdown to think about stuff. Some free time here and there I get during lockdown. So yeah, when I've thought about it, I feel they're very close. Maybe.
Actually, I have a question for you both. If you want to answer
uh,
before we get to continue with Cece's question. Okay, do you think
yeah.
with like rise of reels and like TikTok and all these short forms, do you think stuff like proper traditional stand-up will slowly start dying? Which are like 5 minutes. You have to build the thing, establish it, then set the punchline.
You answer my question. You answer. What do you think I would answer? You know it. You know what?
You will say you'll defend it like to your death. I know.
Yeah.
I want to like a non-biased answer. Like if you look at the current trend of like how famous like people who do reels are, how famous people doing stand up are, like, who goes more rapidly.
I can like when I want to answer this, I can think of what I told when like we compared offline and online shows where there are two different things. So we can't say like reels is a replacement of whatever art forms already exist. So we can't say reels will replace stand-up comedy, but for sure it will compete because the sample space is the same number of people. So
Audience is,
yeah, so like there will be competition for sure, and it will be fun. I think to see how reels embraces traditional art forms. So like what aspects of uh, an example I can think of is vlogging, right? So vlogging on YouTube is like something that people just had cameras and like, hey, this is my life, etc., etc. And like people hated on it when it started. Like, what is this bullshit? You're just showcasing your life. You're not putting any thought into the content you're putting out there, right? People shat on it so much, and then comes Mr. Casey Neistat, him with his filmmaking background, who has done six-figure ad films, so many of that. he brings that experience into vlogs, and vlogs become as good as cinema. Like he brings the knowledge that he has, which is each vlog should have a setup, climax, resolution. He brings his filmmaking skills. He knows the time lapses. So that thing, he brings it over to vlogs, and the vlogs themselves change. So you can't blame the format, I feel. It'll be interesting to see how the format is utilized. So I won't say stand up would die down, everything will exist, but there will be competition amongst everything. And now that too, because of COVID, offline is competing versus the online thing anyway. I don't know if like future people are just like, I prefer online. Like people, I know people who prefer Netflix versus going to theaters. So yeah, so there will be competition, I think. There will be an influx of everything, and let's see how things turn out. But yeah, I don't like to blame a format just for its sake, unless it's only fans. But if just there's a format, I don't want to blame anything. But let's see how people utilize it, and you never know. Uh, we might get another format in the future which says like reels. You think reels will die down? Like some fucker will come.
Yes,
He'll be
10
like
seconds.
60-minute videos are the thing, 60-minute video. Like you think these 60-minute videos will take over 60 seconds? Maybe. Who knows?
Fair enough, fair enough.
When Reels got introduced, I thought it was like a fad. It was just like one thing, like how
You come and go.
like how Clubhouse was a fad.
Mm.
Like I didn't join Clubhouse because it looked like a fad. It was a fad, right? Who uses Clubhouse? No one.
I have an
No
account,
one
but
uses.
I haven't logged in. Like, it just reminded me that I have Clubhouse installed.
Yeah, like no one does. So I when Reels came out, I thought it was going to be a fad, especially seeing like it is just whatever our travel videos, whatever. Those stuff like that. When you're seeing travel, like oh, this is where I saw Maldives, Italy, America, whatever. Those are stuff that you are pulling people. You want to see it at least on your laptop screen or at least horizontal on your phone. You don't want to see it like the same format as whatever. But it wasn't. People started doing comedy with it. People started doing challenges, trends. It became TikTok all over again. So
It is TikTok. Like,
It
yeah,
is
it
not
a
is
different.
TikTok
And now
competition.
it is TikTok. YouTube has YouTube
YouTube
Shorts,
Shorts.
which they
Yeah,
are promoting.
yeah.
They are promoting YouTube Shorts like crazy now. It shows up everywhere, and they are, what do you say, YouTube algorithm automatically pushes videos which are under 1 minute, around 15 seconds, 20 seconds to the home page. So the algorithm itself is like changing. If you observe, uh, my internet's okay. It's bad.
Yeah, yeah,
Was it
yeah.
Yeah,
bad
yeah,
for a
you're
while?
fine. You're fine. It was a little choppy, but you're fine.
Okay. So for, yeah, for if you observe, YouTube desktop, longer versions of videos are recommended. Whereas on your phone, everything is under 1 minute if you take a look at it. So even the algorithm is like pushing this. And like YouTube Shorts is basically what people do on TikTok. That same thing they're uploading there. There's a fitness influencer called Noel Diesel or something. That's his name. They call him Daddy Noel. Okay, but like go check his Instagram out. He has like over 2 million followers on Instagram, and now he's fucking blowing up on YouTube. All because his videos are like 30 seconds. He gives fitness tips, and like he has a very loyal fan base surrounded with this TikTok medium only. So it's not like, so yeah, dude. It is, everything is just becoming one thing. Every company is trying to implement what another company is coming up with,
Yeah.
right? So like stories are from Snapchat, reels are from TikTok. Now YouTube is also, Google's also copying shit. Facebook, if you have Facebook, there's a separate, you know, page for like live streaming. People just live stream games on Facebook, and there are so
Which
many viewers.
Yeah, yeah,
So
Facebook Live. Yeah.
yeah, Facebook is ripping off Twitch, YouTube Live. We are
YouTube Live.
on this,
Yeah.
so
What do you think,
it just
Ravi?
comes down to
Well, me,
Yeah.
I was no. I think yeah. Like, it's just a matter of online versus online. Like stand up. Like if I had to personally choose, like watching a 5 minute stand up, which is, or choosing like a 1 minute quick funny reel, for example, I'd choose the reel, which is just funny. You'll enjoy it for 1 minute. You get back to what you're doing. some stand-ups like go on, and I mean, of
You
course,
won't get back to what you do.
I didn't hear you.
You never go back to what you do. You
Yeah,
you don't go
sometimes I
back to
keep
what you're
going,
doing.
but
You go to the next.
yeah, you have to just keep going in that loop. But sometimes stand-ups,
Yeah.
I have a bias for some comedians. I'll be like, 3 hours also I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But then, like, I don't know, just like the patience of seeing a new 10 minutes, and if it doesn't end up being good, is okay, 10 minutes down the drain you wait, compared to a 1 minute bad video.
Makes sense. Yeah.
In that sense, yeah. But again, it won't, I don't think it will replace any of them will die down.
Yeah, replacement, no way possible.
Yeah, replacement, no.
Competition,
Fair enough.
there's a 70% chance that 50 chance that it might happen. So yeah, that's my
Yeah.
Yeah. Short attention, short videos online, I think they win any day. I
Yeah.
think that is what unfortunate reality of events. Because if you think of offline events, which are like 1 hour long, 1.5 hour long, it's you plan your entire day around it. So like with the hotel you go to after watching that event, so like and then meeting beforehand. So like there's so much more to it. But whereas this, it's just you and your devices. So I think it takes, if you've observed, it takes like proper willpower if Kanan Gill releases a special, unless you're just a fan of comedy and not his biggest fan. It takes willpower for you to sit on Netflix and tell, I will watch this. What you end up doing is like watching it during dinner. Again, like you watch it during dinner or during lunch, which again is like a second-hand activity, if you ask me.
Yeah. That's actually a good point, because one of the questions I remember reading was, I think CP asked, what are your opinions on Bo Burnham's special? So I actually haven't seen it still, because I don't. That's what I can't commit. That whatever, it's 2 hours or something, or 2.5 hours. It's really long.
It's
It's really long. Yeah, exactly. It's really long. So I'm always stand-up specials are always like super long. I think the last special I watched was Kanan's last the letter one.
Yours sincerely.
Yeah, yours is ages ago. That was the last time I actually sat down and watched it with like undivided attention. So yeah, I guess it's just based on your lifestyle, but like, yeah, I mean, sometimes shorter.
Yeah, it's hard.
That's what I feel like that second-hand activity kind of thing. I think even with that, it's good enough for it to survive and for it to be not be competed with reels. Like anything and everything is like anything you watch on TV is a second-hand activity. Nothing on TV you actively watch other than maybe sport, other than maybe like finals of like whatever. Nothing else on TV, especially, is a
even sports you're doing back and forth. I feel with phone watching, right?
if it's like a final match and stuff, like there's no way you're using it.
No, you still do it because you will still text your friends who support Manchester United. You will still check the fan group and celebrate a goal. That way, when you're doing that, you will, get diverted. That will happen.
Yeah, basically because it's home, right? There's distractions, so many distractions.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to, even if you have switched off your phone, kept everything aside, you're free for the day, you're just okay, I'm watching Boba and I'm inside today, I switch it on, I still have so many distractions, right? Like someone can ring the doorbell, something might come up, right? There's going to be so much distraction that it's not the same, it's going to be a passive thing. And but I've tried my best not to passively watch few stuff, at least. Like if I'm watching, say, like a thriller movie, or like a crime movie, or whatever, these intense kind of movies, other than just rom-coms or comedies also sometimes I watch actively. Other than rom-coms, I try not to use my phone. I try to switch them off. I just try to keep it aside. Like I'll put it on charge in my room and I'll watch it in the hall and stuff like that. I'll do. Even with stand-up, sometimes I do that. Like I don't need my phone. Like if someone's not texting me, I don't see reels. I personally hate reels, so I don't use reels. So on Instagram also, there's nothing much, like two posts and it's like done. So unless someone's texting me, I don't technically use my phone. I'm either watching something on my laptop or I'm watching something on my TV. So yeah, uh,
Fair
that
enough.
my
What do I say? Like, I was thinking right now. Well, yeah, before when I used to, obviously, like you said, there are some forms of content which I will dedicate my time and I will watch properly. So, like the last time I remember doing that was for Bo Burnham's Inside. Make Happy was one of the finest things I've ever seen. So, I wanted to watch this properly. So, uh, which is why I end up watching stuff post 1 a.m., post 2 a.m., where like my parents can't do shit and we was sleeping. So uh, luckily football happens at that time, so I cannot, stress about things so much. But yeah, I ended up watching those things seriously. But before, when I was a very huge film buff to say, I would watch movies with like one sitting one time. I saw Lord of the Rings, which are like 4 hours, 4 hour 15 minutes, director's cut versions in one sitting each time. Like I would plan, have an early break, late breakfast so that I don't have to go for lunch, watch the entire thing, rewind multiple parts, observe everything. So like I would end up, that 4 hour would become 4.5 hours. And which is why my brother to this day does not watch movies with me. He's like, you fucking rewind all the time. And like you take the joy out of watching anything itself. But like that intense I used to be with stuff. Which like
back then you didn't have distractions. Also, you didn't have 1+5T or whatever you have.
hey, no. True. I didn't have
Uh,
friends. I didn't have
yeah.
friends. True. But yeah,
Called him out, right?
yeah.
Straight up. You didn't have friends. Like,
Now also it's debatable, but what do you say? That's the thing. That was the thing. So that, what do you say? That fucking tendency to do that like carried over, and like even today if I want to watch, I put myself under so much pressure to watch things properly. So one thing which I did was I saw BoJack Horseman all 6 seasons downstairs living room TV. So which with all sorts of distractions. My living room is not that big, you guys have seen, and my kitchen's right here, so there's noise happening. Viru's barking upstairs or he's downstairs, he's irritating everyone. My grandmother's walking back and forth for to the kitchen and something. But despite all of these distractions, I told myself, let me watch the entire thing. It's okay if I don't, if I don't extract the 100%, I don't get every meaning out of it. Let me just watch, and I'm so glad I did it. I just saw it. Obviously I was emotional at parts, some parts hit really hard. All of that was there. Maybe would it have been at the same impact if I'd watched it alone with entire focus? Maybe not, I don't know, but I'm glad I did it. Which is why I find watching sports documentaries like Drive to Survive, All or Nothing very easy when it's like a living room thing, like Last Dance. All of them in the living room, you can just play it and watch and enjoy, right? But whereas if you hype yourself to watch Seven or Tenet or something like that, when I think there, yeah, that psychological pressure will be there for you to watch things properly. I feel that way, but it's unrealistic to. I don't think. Uh, I think we should stop beating ourselves down for not doing justice to the art form. It's fine sometimes. Yeah, life happens. You pause. You have to pee sometimes. Your dog has to pee sometimes. Just watch it, and better than not watching it at all any day. Coming to Bo Burnham's Inside, I hate Bo Burnham for because he is so good. Like some when you see
in the
some
first half.
yeah when you see some artists, they motivate you. Where I want to do something like him. That's what happened when I saw Homecoming King.
Yeah.
Hasan Minhaj telling such an emotional story with comedy, with such things. I believe that like, okay, maybe something I can do like this. Like this is my dream goal. Or like I want to do something like this. It was so good. Bo Burnham demotivates me. Like fucking how can you do so much so well? I hate you for it. I wish you didn't exist. But it's so good. And what I feel about Bo Burnham's Inside is that his art is his mind. if you watched Make Happy, if you watched Inside, his comedy is not structured. Like one bit doesn't segue into the next bit. He will be talking about, suck my dick, lick my clit. Next minute, he's on an emotional rant which can make you cry. In this, he's talking about white women, but next minute he's having an existential crisis and talking about how capitalism is ruining our world. So he is so self-aware. He's self-aware to the point where he's self-aware about being self-aware. He has that bit even in Inside, where
Yeah,
you think you're
that was
better than.
irritating, but I didn't like that too.
No, I loved every part of Inside, and like musically, how can you do that? Also, the comedy is fine, like it's just irritating. And yeah, Get Your Fucking Hands Up will be um, probably one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life, and so good. Like it starts like, yeah, he's talking about white women, and then like next it's the sock puppet, being all giving you making a social commentary. So it's very schizophrenic that way, where it's like up and down. There is no segue to things, and that's what sets Bo Burnham apart, I feel. And it was so good. Yeah, proper, like after watching it, had to like, I was silent for quite a while. It was really good. Lot to think about, lot to learn from how he writes, how he tells jokes. But yeah, I hate him for being so good. Absolutely hate him.
Yeah, good show. I don't. Bobanam, yeah, treat to.
And yeah, this question, I think I can. Okay, yeah. If you have any opinions regarding that apart.
Nothing like overall very Bobanam like. That was it was very Bob. You
What
could.
do you say? He took the emo part of Make Happy and like he multiplied it in
Yeah,
Inside.
there's no way anyone else could do it. But of course, like few stuff like comedically unnecessary milking and stuff is going to happen, which is okay. I,
Okay.
I,
Yeah.
I rate the stand-up special 3.5 out of 5 stars.
I
Yeah.
have not seen it, so I will hold on to my review. I'll watch
Just,
it soon.
I think you can watch it passively also, Da. Just watch it. Just like
Okay, I'll just watch it.
the lyrics are funny enough, the lyrics are catchy enough that you'll be like, what? You'll drop your phone and you'll, what are you doing there?
Yeah, I mean, I normally watch stuff when I'm eating or like walking or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, watch it.
Yeah, Bob Adam doesn't, I feel he doesn't write the entire special. He just writes bits, he shoots them, and then like they become a special.
He writes
So
them on the computer.
yeah, whatever. But like he does that, and it's damn fun. It was really good. Yeah, I really liked it. Ending is very hard hitting, I feel. But yeah, damn good. With this, I can segue into this question where he asks, is comedy a teachable subject or does it need intrinsic talent? Now that like we've spoken of Bo Burnham's talent and stuff, what's your take?
It's teachable. I mean, we've been to places where they teach improv. Like,
Yeah, but
I see
comedy
the
as a whole, what do you think?
comedy. Yeah, maybe that point be a little talented. Some people just don't get jokes. Like they just don't get it. Like it's not a rude thing to say. Like some people just don't understand comedy. So like if you wanna be a comedian, doesn't separate like a good comedian from a great comedian, someone who understands it rather well. But I think to an extent it is teachable. At least improv is definitely teachable. I feel like you get the groundwork laid out. Because again, improv doesn't have to be funny, right? Like we've told ourselves, I mean, we always tell ourselves, let's make this scene not very funny, or let's make it story heavy. And it ends up being like a sitcom. But then, yeah, I think you can teach improv at least to an extent. It won't be great improv, but it will be improv nevertheless. That makes sense.
That point about where you said understanding comedy is also important to do comedy, no? That's also very important. I've never like yeah, when you say it, I was like, oh fuck, that makes a lot of sense, but I've never thought about it. But what you said, that point where understanding, you need to know what the other person is telling or how comedy is done to even do comedy. And it's tough. So you can just understand comedy and not be funny, but you can never not understand comedy and be funny. I think that's never going to happen. Like you can never not appreciate or like understand humor and be humorous. That's true. But
Exactly. That's the thing.
back to the question, I think comedy, this thing, I think we spoke some similar topic with Varun, Jacob, Tanmay, and Arihant in episode 2, where we were like, we spoke about there are natural designers and structured designers, right? And how they're like different. You can be a natural comedian. I'll say the same structure. I'll bringing the same here where I say a natural comedian who's just funny, innately funny, and the other person being a structured funny guy. You can you can be super funny naturally, but at some point when you hit a roadblock, you can't that charisma won't help you. You need structure there. And it's the same thing with the other side of the boat, the other side of the page also. It's the same thing where you can be super structured, you can be super like you could know, oh, this is the callback, this is the rule of three, this is how it has to be delivered. You have to these many syllables are there in this sentence, I'll nail them down, I'll pause on the fifth syllable in the 17th sentence of my third page. You can nail down stuff. But if you don't have that flair, that small, that that matchbox, when you do that with the matchbox, that will spark, if you don't have that spark of comedy in you, there's no way that will be funny. It'll like there's no way it will be funny. You could have the most beautiful material, you could have the most amazing observations in the world, but if you don't have that small spark, there's no way it's funny. So it has to both have to be there together. There's no way you can be just a natural comedian. I'll give examples also. Who cares? I'll give examples also. You can like I feel you guys know that I don't like Andrew Schultz, no? I feel he's a very naturally funny guy. He's super duper great sense of humor. He's like just go for it. But I feel he lacks something here and there. Like I don't when he did that Save for America, what's that thing on Netflix? Some Save America. What was that thing?
Like Homecoming, sorry, like Patriot Act, no? Something like that.
Something like that. He's sitting and he's doing some shit.
Yeah.
So bad. Like I couldn't get through 50. You could say, oh, it's like American stuff. He's talking like no, not relatable. But I watch Patriot Act. That thing is relatable. That thing's like easily watchable. So he's a very naturally funny guy. His crowd work bits are out of the world. Like few bits are just like out types. But I feel slight structure he doesn't have. Structure and no natural, I don't know. I don't think you can ever be. You can never be just structured. I think there's no way you can be recognized if you're just structured. You need to have the flair. Most structured comedian, I think, probably Seinfeld, but he has that irritated New York personality in him that makes him, that's his flair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can comedy be, what's the exact question? Can comedy be, is comedy a teachable subject or does it need
That's what.
intrinsic talent?
Can it be structured? Can it be given a structure? Can it be given a curriculum? Basically.
I have answer. Is it teachable? Okay. Can anyone become a comedian? My answer is yes, for sure. Anyone can. Like you might argue, some people are just unfunny, or some people just don't get jokes. Some people are the moodiest people in their life. Like one of my relatives, he never laughs. Can he become a comedian? I think he can. Anybody can. But the thing is, what do I say? There is a part of it which is teachable, and there is a part of it which you need to learn on your own. That learning on your own comes only if you are in tune with your emotions, what you're feeling, and that's something that you should learn and discover about yourself. So let's take Kunal Kamra for example. Okay, he speaks about this on Son of Abhish's podcast as well, where initially like he used to. You can watch that episode with him. So initially, one of his bits was like he's so single that in his wallet you find oregano packets instead of condom things, right? So like that's what his bit was. So like, and he was a fat dude back then. So like people would laugh, but like it was that's how his writing was. But for him to become the Kunal Kamra he is today, irrespective of whether you like his comedy or not, was that he understood that he is politically inclined. He has these political, thoughts, and that is what he is. And once he started basing his comedy around that, that's when he blew up and he became the comedian he is today. Right now, you can't give Seinfeld's set to Bo Burnham and tell do it. You can't give Bill Burr's set to Dave Chappelle and do it. Bill Burr has something that he cares about, and that is his comedy. Dave Chappelle has something that he cares about. So he speaks about black people, he speaks about inequalities. So he has something that he cares about, and his comedy is based around that. I have my thing. So, like, if you've observed, majority of my comedy, be it improv, be it my stand-up sets, they're based around my mother. Like my mother, what my mother says is the punchline. Because I am so attached to her and I love her so much, and we have that relationship where we fight so much, and that's just who I am. I'm very observant around my family. So my comedy will be based around that. I can't come and tell maybe someday, but I can't come and joke about being in the corporate and telling this thing, or I am so disconnected from engineering itself, I can't make engineering jokes. Like stuff like that, where that part of learning, it has to come from you as a person. You need to get to know, and that comes by practice and you observing what you can do. The teachable part is how can you put that across. Once that writing a stand-up set, those things, yeah, they are learnable, and more than learnable, it ultimately comes down to practice makes perfect. So with practice you will find stuff which you care about, and with practice you will learn to refine your art. This question someone asked on even Simple Ken, I think the second episode with Kanan Gill, and
Mr. Ravish Kamperi.
oh, he asked,
Yes, that was the guy.
is it innate or something, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and Kenny was like, no. Kanan was like, yes, right? You can see that's the school of comedy they come from. Kenny is very himself, right? In a way that Kenny Sebastian is so Kenny Sebastian when he's on stage. Like he has his improv background, he has this which he does. Kanan is very structured, and I'm sure for Kanan to become that, he had to learn so much, and that's why he's telling. But ultimately, what Kanan cares about is what he's going to joke about. So that, yeah, for that's what separates good comedians from great comedians, I feel. It's not the way they tell it, it's why they tell it. That's what separates. So like Bo Burnham, uh, being self-aware and knowing what to joke about, knowing what to put across, that's what separates him from just being some person who's just doing comedy for the sake of it. And apart, that's why like I can't in a way you can't disassociate the art and the artist, because the art is born from the artist, and that's what you will get ultimately. So like if I if I was very uh, let's say I'm a movie director and I saw a suicide in my immediate family, for example, I when I if I eventually do become a director or a movie filmmaker, my movies will be based around uh, mental health and losing people and family dramas. If I was a black person growing up in a hard neighborhood like Spike Lee, and then I experienced that, so the movies I make in the future will be like black KKK Klansmen and stuff like that, right? So so you should find your voice, and once you find your voice, yeah, it becomes teachable. So that there is an intrinsic part to it, but that intrinsic part is teachable too in a way. Learnable, it's learnable.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's a good point.
And she had another question saying, what is the toughest part about doing improv? What do you think? I don't know.
Uh,
Getting good suggestions.
we have my toughest thing is I get too personal, I feel. So if I have a bad improv scene, I think I am not a good comedian at all. Or you've seen me post shows how I
Yeah,
analyze stuff
Yeah,
and
we can vouch for this.
yeah, yeah.
Puts up a whole show after the show's done.
Yeah, I go like if you meet me after the show, I'll be thinking so much like, why did I do this joke? Like you remember in Chennai where you told something you shouldn't have told
not
that.
even Chennai, but Chennai. That 15 minutes opening act for Akash Gupta, he didn't do the rap properly. I mean, like you committed to doing a rap on the spot. It's a difficult thing. It's going to be okay if you fail. And that didn't go well, but it ended on such a high. And he's coming back and he's like, no,
Bro, can't do it,
rap,
bro. I
oh
think I like
God.
bro. They hate us.
Oh
They kick us
man.
out of college.
Yeah, so like
Take us out of
I was scared for my life also, you know why, right?
Yeah, I know. That is on me, but
Yeah, so what do you say?
we also that day thought we will.
and I had
I
zero.
was scared to walk in Sutagali for like 7 days straight.
We saw that person also when we finished.
Yeah,
Who must not be named.
yeah.
Yeah,
Voldemort.
yeah, Voldemort.
Tom
Um,
Riddle. Yes.
yeah, I think that's my personal challenge is to like keep it going, where to not let one bad show, one bad scene affect you entirely. To just like learn from it and immediately switch off from that, move on and keep doing it. I think that's my toughest part of improv, of running BBB. Like we spoke, I think already. That side of improv is like the technical side of improv, which has these things. But as a improviser, I think my personal challenge, which I should overcome, is this. It's that, and yeah, to just grow and to just learn, keep learning, and not hold, like not get so carried away and take things so personally.
Yeah.
Once what happened was I did BBMP, right? We were doing BBMP, and I did some. You remember the ending of the first two episodes, right? Where I did some. It was not. It was like a crude joke. It was crass, right? In a way. My mom saw both of them, and like she told, like, "Why are you embarrassing yourself?" or something like that, which was, I don't know, she might have told that as just like a comedic joking around thing, but that was enough to send me spiraling. Like, am I embarrassing myself so much? Will no one marry me in the future after watching this? Like, from
They almost had the marriage. It's like, no, I saw BBMP season 1, episode 2 ending,
yeah,
calling it off.
yeah. But so like that affected me so much. So I should tell her like, okay, yeah, that happened. Maybe this was a good joke at that time. Maybe it was not a good joke at that time. Just learn from that and move on. I think, yeah, I should learn to do that.
Yeah. That makes sense. What if I don't get married? It seems.
So BBM from like 5 years ago.
Yeah. That last, like movie's last scene, that's like, stop it! It's like turning around, everyone gets.
The to be continued comes in the corner.
I find myself going over the podcast as well and seeing where I fumbled and oh, shit, I shouldn't have said that. Stuff like that. But it happens. What are your challenges, guys? What do you think? I think a general challenge for all of us is to like to be in love with the art and not let something take away that. It's a challenge all of us face
I, I think I know that part of it. I think I've overcome at this point where I'm like, it's something. It's like a part of me now. Doing
okay.
it, doing comedy has become a part of me. That like, yeah, just another day types. It still feels special. I'm not saying it doesn't feel special, but it's like I've seen sports people and like comedians and all say not comedians, actors, especially sports people, right? More they'll be like, oh, each time when I wear that cricket pad and I go out on the field, I feel like a new first time. Every time it's like a first time. Yeah, but at this point, I feel it's become a part of me. Like I can just do it. It's me. It's just, yeah, come, let's do improv. Okay, that's it. There's nothing, I don't need a motivation factor. I don't need anything to do improv. I can just do improv. I don't need an audience also at this point. Just, you have two other advisors.
Initially we were like that, like it was enough for like during bedtime practice, 5, 6 people, as long as the people we cared about, like for Sihi and
Yeah.
people, they were watching more than enough at times.
Yeah.
But later, after Zoom, we started measuring, I feel.
Yeah, and we wanted, and now I'm back to the same point where I'm like, I'll just do it because I like doing it. It's me. It's like, yeah, okay, types. But toughest part about doing improv, I don't know.
That ego thing we spoke of, that's okay.
Yeah, I think ego is the only thing I can think of. It's like accepting the other person's idea and like getting rid of your own and going ahead with the scene. I think that's like the only chance I can think of.
Yeah, more than just the letting go part of it. That tension, a few seconds, like microseconds.
The initial gap, like who's going to take the first step, that leap of
More
faith.
than that, when the train of thought changes from yours to yours, that few milliseconds that you have when you're figuring out, okay, this is my character, this is what it is, like when everything's like, that matrix scene, everything, calculation thing happens, that few milliseconds are very scary. It's scary. It's not tough. It's just like, oh, okay.
There's a lot of information.
Yeah. It's like quick.
Yeah.
Like for that 1 second, you're like, shit, why did I start doing improv? Like full crisis you're having.
Don't marry me in 10 years now. Like, why did it take so long to answer?
Yeah,
few milliseconds.
It again comes down to the fact that like improv, how much ever you plan, you can't plan enough. So you will have bad shows and bad scenes and stuff. So it just learning from them and not letting them affect you. So like do you remember we take the interval for like when they're collecting chits, the names thing, we step what's that place? Rangasthala. You remember you were like, shit, the crowd is tough. In that small second to not let that vibe affect you, but come back and do the next scene as if nothing had ever happened is the thing, is I think one of the hardest parts of improv. To like not let the previous scene or like, sometimes you make jokes which you shouldn't have. Like you can end up hurting a person, like making fun of like you can punch down on an audience member, and after doing that you immediately think, shit, I shouldn't have done that, I'm a shitty human for doing it. But to not let that affect you, think about it later, it's fine. But in that second, if you're very much focused on that, then you're being an asshole to your co-improvisers. So you shouldn't let that affect you, and you should, I think is one of the hardest parts of improv. All other things, sanding and those are technical things. They're not challenges. They are just a part of improv. You have to know them to do it.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions on the chat?
In the chat, now that we spoke of that, Sankarshan says, you three are theater artists, so is there something that you learned from there and applied it to improv? If you watch the interview with ICB episode 1, a similar question was asked, and like we spoke of how our theater backgrounds influenced us. I think that's there. But
overall, I think acting part of it, character building, scene building and stuff, we understand.
Definitely. Theater teaches discipline.
My and stuff we'd known, and like that helps us a lot with improv. Acting, it's just not what you say, it's the way you say.
Yeah. Theater teaches discipline for sure, because theater is very structured. So like character sketch, script, character sketch, then like scenes, and then the play, right? So that discipline carries over to improv for sure, I feel. Like, and like, I don't think BBB would exist if we didn't share time during theater rehearsals and stuff. Right? So,
for sure. Of course.
Yeah.
But
on Instagram, what other questions do we have, fam?
You take it from
Sanjay asked what came first, egg or chicken? What do you guys think?
I would say Johnny Sins came first.
Humor. I understood the joke.
right there.
He told the joke. He's a comedian. Right?
Understood that
Avinash
question.
laughed. He's a comedian.
But for 10 marks, I can't, sir. That is not. It'll. A private podcast will do on which I'll give 10-mark answer. But
Have any other questions? Some Kannada thing, I don't know, I can't read.
Dosa Beka, she asks. Dosa Beka.
Okay.
Anytime.
Dinner.
Do you like taking bath in bathtub? Do you like that one?
Back in the day, yes, dude. Now I'm over it.
I don't think I've taken like one bathtub bath in my life.
That's all one.
I think one more time I should be great.
When we were traveling there, like if there's a bathtub, that was the most exciting part of my trip.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
every Indian family.
Yeah.
Even in the bathtub, we take a regular bucket bath.
Yeah, and like in that foam, putting beer, telling I'm Santa Claus. That was the best part. And seeing my obsession with bathtubs. My parents in my small bathroom, which I had in my earlier room, in that they managed to cram one bathtub in. And after
In
that,
the bathroom that in your that first.
no, you haven't been to. No, it's in Rishan's room right now, but
Okay.
like half of that bathroom was a bathtub. Okay, so it was like just because they loved their son so much, and after that maybe I took 2 baths and I outgrew them, and like it would be
Sit like this, Dad. Sit like this and
physically,
take bath.
like you just outgrew them. Like, you couldn't
Sit
fit.
like this and take bath. Yeah, bathtub means take bath.
Yeah, no, now it's not there. No, after, but like then they did it, and after that, no, dude. Okay, not anymore.
Rapid fire the other question.
Bucket
What
they
else is
told.
there?
Bucket snana is best snana in the world.
Water friendly.
Yeah. And like in the end, you do this, no? That's the best part. Have you guys ever taken public baths?
What do you mean?
Like you're like in front of everyone you've taken bath. Like outside temple.
Yeah.
Have you taken Avi?
You would have done. You would have.
No,
Yeah, Upanayana.
I don't think so.
Pakka you would have.
I
In
don't think so.
Upanayana, like 5 sisters or like some 5 women come and pour water. Do you remember?
But that's different, though. It's not the same taking a bath. There's no soap involved, no shampoo.
No, not soap. Hachi. That's not. Still, if water is falling on you, means bath. Unless it's plain water. Unless,
By that definition, then yeah, sure. I have.
yeah. Officially, it's taken bath in front.
Yeah.
Officially, yes.
You get paid for it. Yes, you got.
I did get paid.
Quite a lot of money we made.
Yeah.
During those.
But like, you see people taking public baths, they're damn efficient in that way. Like in that one clinic plus shampoo, entire body they will manage. And like with pipe, sit, top. Before you know it, they would have changed out of that wet towel, pure good, friendly clothes, Pond's powder, comb, everything done. I should learn.
No, this just goes to say that Vaishak has sat and observed.
Yeah.
You've seen multiple.
The life cycle of a public washroom.
Mahesh Shankar is taking bath publicly. Like I'm watching.
Taking notes.
There's this Seinfeld episode. There's this Seinfeld episode where Kramer is like his girlfriend keeps accusing him of being smelly and like not taking baths properly. He goes around like gyms and he's taking notes of people taking baths, and people are like this, and he's like, no, I'm watching you, but look at his like whatever his technique and stuff. So like, Vishak's probably looking around.
Be like, he'll wash his shampoo. Then ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ಯಾ? I'm like, the way you do it, sir, beautiful. It's an art.
Too good.
I think we've covered all questions then.
Great.
Awesome. The tough ones, we have covered the easy ones, we have covered the tough ones. Do we have anything in the chat? No, we don't have anything in the chat. And we are nearing the end of this Q&A then. It was so much fun doing this, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Final thoughts.
Thank you. That's what I was.
Yeah.
Wow.
Final thoughts, final questions, people. You guys.
Yeah, great stuff. Podcast. It was fun.
We will, yeah, now that we've done this, I feel like, yeah, we will return to
Yeah, how we know how to do this. So
yeah. Hopefully, like we can do like a higher budget version where three of us recorded in my something we'll see.
like in a studio.
You
Yeah.
get verified guests. Next season.
Joe Rogan, hide yourself. No, we will try, and to the people who have watched so far, thank you so much for being a part of this. It's something.
Yeah, and no. Surprisingly, we've had like good viewership. Yeah, we've had
Yeah.
400 views and all. We don't.
We had like around
have that.
playbacks for like each podcast, even though if you might have not seen the entirety of it. Oh yeah, my question is, Vishnu, what was your main learning from this podcast?
I don't know. I guess once.
Main learning,
This was the main learning, right? Yeah.
knock your door. That's the main.
That's my main learning. But just give me a second. It's been a podcast like that. So
Like how Vishnu like heavy censorship going on in the background. What are you trying to hide?
Who is he talking
Trying to
to?
hide?
Who's that?
Who you trying to hide? Huh?
yeah, but yeah, that's first learning. Lock my door. Second learning, get good lighting. My ring light is out of battery. Like that.
I thought you plugged it in. I thought that's not good.
No, it's battery. Ring light is.
It's a vade light, not a ring light.
Yeah, it's pretty small. I should have bought like a big one. But other than that, just the instinct of sometimes when I'm on camera, when I know people are watching, when I'm doing BBB stuff, there's this all instinct of me trying to be funny always, and to the point where I sacrifice the main part of it. I've like improv sometimes, like it's been okay. Like nowadays, like since lockdown, at least we've all been exposed to improv from different places, that we know that punchlines are not the main thing about improv, but the story part of it. So that wise we've improv, but just the conversations and like understanding people's opinions, people's viewpoints on stuff, how they think, what challenges they go through, how our challenges, their challenges, like we mainly spoke to creative people almost. So like good conversations. It's always nice, like the design, Varun, Jacob, Tanmay, Aryan, yeah, they're my classmates. Like I've spoken to them for 4 years, like, but we've never spoken like this. We've never been like, we've spoken about design, of course, we've spoken about how design, but just understanding their opinions, and like it's nice. It's like a fun experience. I've wanted to do it for a very long time. I did it. It's fun.
Yeah, we saw a good side of the people who we knew. Is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, when hearing Tanmay talk on that podcast was like so insightful to me personally, and yeah, it's that way. Yeah, very insightful. So like it was objective learnings from each by talking with our guests. That's definitely there. One learning which I had is never ever underestimate preparation. So like no matter how much prepared you think you are not that prepared. Like I told, like in the beginning, I'm very particular about the way this podcast was conducted. So the first 3 episodes, we would directly live stream from Zoom, and then I like edit, and then like it would be unlisted for a while, and then we would go live. So that much, even though like I prepared that perfectly, there was still so much uncertainty involved. And like once I learned to schedule it, which is not a big deal, honestly, I found myself being much more calmer, and the podcasts were like I could focus more on the podcasting. So like no matter what it is, even if this podcast we don't know what we're going to talk about, there is like posting at the right time, scheduling it the right way, ensuring the description has the links of people, all of that, making sure that it's right, it looks good, and you are happy that you are presenting the best version that which is possible to the people out there. That I think that, yeah, never take preparation for granted is one thing which I learned.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
apart from so much fun. Loved doing this. We should do this sometime again. Thank you to the people who've been with us, who have been liking our posts. Our first post got 100 likes ish. The eighth post got around 50 likes. Whatever. If you have liked only one post, if you've been there, just thank you so much for sticking with us. Thank you for being a part of this. And thank you for joining us as we go on unexplored paths. So thank you so much. We will do something very soon. You have asked about our future plans. Let's see, one kid or two kids, but we will see what we do. And that's about it. Give ourselves a round of applause, our people a round of applause. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, take care, drink milk, have a good night, and we say bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.